Gen Z thinks their life is over before it has even started. Everyone's convinced the system is working against us. They'll never be able to buy a home, and we're the first generation that'll be worse off than our parents. But here's what nobody wants to hear. We're living in the most privileged time in human history, and this doomer mindset is the only thing holding us back. Here's why you're wrong about how bad things are and what you actually need to do about it. Being a Gen Z myself, I see this doom and gloom mindset from lots of people around me, from friends who work dead end jobs and don't do anything more to improve their situation, friends who got useless degrees in school with no applicable jobs after, and just other friends who have zero motivation to do anything else besides get high all day and go out on the weekends. And look, I get it. Things are tough. But here's the thing that nobody wants to acknowledge. Things have always been tough. At literally every single point in human history, something's been tough for people. This isn't a new concept, but for some reason, we like to act like it is. The great thing about this is that we're actually able to choose what's tough for us. Is it going to be working hard for 2 years to provide a better life for not only yourself, but your family? Or is it going to be that kind of tough where you're sitting on your computer, typing on Reddit, complaining about how bad everything is? The real issue is that social media has completely warped everyone's perspective. You're scrolling Instagram, seeing people your age with money, success, relationships, and you're probably thinking, I'm failing behind. It's over for me. When in reality, you're just comparing yourself to the image of what people want you to perceive them as, not what the reality looks like on the day to day. This isn't your fault because the algorithm feeds you this content because it knows you're going to engage with it. And it will only continue to feed you that content. It kind of puts you in this echo chamber almost where you're all of a sudden you can't look at your feed without someone driving a Lamborghini or Ferrari or BMW. Let me give you some general data to kind of back up what I'm saying. In 1970, the average life expectancy in the United States was around 70 years old. And today it's around 78 years old. That's an additional 8 years to your life. In 1970, 20 out of every 1,000 babies born in the United States died before their first birthday. Today, that number is down to just 5.5 per 1,000. And let's talk about global poverty. In 1990, just 35 years ago, 33% of the world's population lived in extreme poverty. That's almost half of everyone on earth living on less than $2 a day. And today, that's down to just 8.5%. In 1970, you needed to go to a library or a university to access specialized knowledge. You're walking around with a supercomputer in your pocket. You have access to more information today than someone with a PhD had 50 years ago. You can learn anything for free from your phone. You can start a business from your bedroom. You can learn to code, to trade, to create content, to build something, all while never leaving your house. And yes, housing is expensive. And yeah, wages haven't perfectly kept up with inflation in some areas. But what's also true is there's more way to make money today than there ever has in human history. I mean, content creation, freelancing, e-commerce, software development, a million different types of remote work. None of these existed 50 years ago. Now, am I saying everything's perfect? Not at all. Are there real challenges that need to be addressed? Absolutely. The cost of single family homes in a lot of big cities in North America kind of price out a lot of single income households. Kids are piling on college debt for garbage degrees that schools know won't get them a job after, but don't care. The wages in a lot of industries just haven't kept up, obviously, with the cost of living. Despite all that, the quality of life for the majority of people today is without a doubt better than it was 100 years ago. And more importantly, you have more opportunities to you than any generation before you. And the problem is not the system is rigged. The problem is your mindset. When you walk around thinking the system is rigged, I'm screwed, I'm never going to get ahead, well, you're giving yourself permission not to try. And when you don't try, you're guaranteed your outcome at the end of the day. Under 1 in 10 Americans are millionaires. There are new millionaires minted every single day in the US. So the idea that it's impossible to get ahead is just not true. If you have no skills, no sense of urgency, no willingness to learn, then yeah, it's going to be a long life, but that's completely on you, not the system. You can sit here and feel like things are unfair. That's totally valid. I feel like everyone feels like that at some point, but kind of moping around and feeling bad for yourself because you can't maybe save as much as the next person to get ahead is just not going to get you anywhere. And I'm not talking out of my ass here. By the age of 22, I was able to put myself in the top percentile of net worth for my age by doing a lot of the things I'm talking about in this video. Did I have advantages? Absolutely. I grew up in Canada, not a war-torn country, and I had access to internet. But you know what? If you're watching this video right now, you most likely had the same advantages that I just listed. And the main difference is that I acted with a sense of urgency because I wanted something and I went to go get it. I saw an opportunity and I went all in. Yeah, I ran into shit along the way, but that's the cost of doing business. It's inevitable. You need to learn to face life head on or you're going to watch it go by. And I'm not special. I'm not smarter than you. I hated school growing up, to be fair. I'm sure a lot of you watching this video feel the same way. And I didn't have some secret knowledge. I just refused to accept the doomer narrative that it's impossible. When I looked around and saw other people doing it, I was thinking like, why can't I? So here's what you actually need to do if you want to escape this mindset. First, zoom out, take a step back and look at your life with no bias and no self-deflection. Where are you right now financially, socially, relationship-wise, and what skills you have? Be brutally honest with yourself. Don't make excuses and don't blame other people. Just look at the reality of where you're at. Then ask yourself, where do you actually want to be? Not where you think you should be, not where social media tells you to be. Where do you want to be? What does success actually look like for you? Is it a $100,000 net worth? Is it a stable relationship? Is it a skill that makes you valuable? Just define that clearly. Now, here's the most important part. Create an actionable plan to get there. And no, it doesn't need to be everything figured out. It doesn't need to be a 10-year plan. You just need to start. You need to take baby steps. You need to learn one skill, applying to one better job, learn that new side hustle, save an extra $100 a month, because that's going to point you in the right direction. Because here's what happens when you start taking action and building momentum. That first $100 turns into 500, 1,000, 5,000. That first skill you learn opens up new doors to get a better job. That better job gives you more capital to invest or start something, and that compounds. And stop consuming doomer content. Stop following people who tell you it's over. Stop watching videos about how the world is ending and you're screwed and you're never going to get ahead in life, because that's not the content that's going to get you ahead. That's the content that's going to make you designed to feel hopeless and trapped. Unfollow those accounts. Stop engaging with that content. Surround yourself with people who are actually looking to do something with their lives and build a better future for not only themselves, but their family. At the end of the day, it comes down to a choice. You can choose to believe that everything is rigged and impossible and you're a victim of your circumstances. And if you choose that, you'll 100% be right. You'll prove yourself by not trying. Or you can choose to believe that despite the challenges, despite the real problems that exist, you have more opportunity and more tools at your disposal than 99% of humans ever had. And if you choose that, you actually put in the work, you'll also be right. I think if more people, especially younger men, realize how lucky we are to be where we are, despite what it might feel like, we'd see a massive shift. Nobody owes you anything in the world, not your parents, not the government, not society. It's really on you to build the life you want. And yeah, you might fail, you might lose money, you might look stupid at the beginning, but you know what the alternative is? Sitting in the same spot for the next 40 years, scrolling social media, watching other people live the life you wish you had, convincing yourself it was impossible anyway. And I fully believe that despite some variables we can't control, where you're born, your family situation, what you want out of life is largely up to you. And the quality of life available to you right now in 2026, it's better than it's ever been, but you actually have to take advantage of it. So here's my challenge to you. Stop consuming doomer content for 1 week. Unfollow all the accounts that make you feel hopeless. Instead, follow people who actually are building something, people who take action. Then take 1 hour this week to sit down and do what I said earlier. Look at where you are and where you want to be. Make a plan. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. One skill you'll learn, one thing you'll change, one action you'll take, and then actually doing it. Don't just think about it, do it. Because the doomer mindset is killing our generation, but it doesn't have to kill you. You can choose differently. You can choose to build instead of complain. You can choose to try instead of giving up before you even start. The data is clear. We are without a doubt living in the best time in human history. The question is, are you going to take advantage of it, or are you going to waste your time scrolling and complaining? That's my take on doomer mindset and financial nihilism in Gen Z. Comment down below. Do you kind of disagree? Am I out of touch? Or do you kind of see this with the people around you too? I know for sure with me, it's definitely something that's relevant in my circle, but yeah, I want to hear your perspective on it. And if you got value from this video, drop a like, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one.